and welcome to The Automation Effect, where we talk about how to leverage AI to automate workflows, leverage it in order to grow our business, especially in the fields of marketing and sales. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about these 6 skills for you to master in order to leverage AI, automate workflows, and in order to use them to grow your business. Now, to be honest, AI currently is in a state where there are like grass, tools are increasing and growing every day, and every day there's a new tool out there that somehow has the potential to get big, that offers real value, or at least it seems. But how can we actually, and that's a real pain on my end too, how can we actually make a sense out of that and be up to pace, up to speed, so we were always informed what comes next and what's currently the new hot shit, basically. Now, let's hop into the episode. AI isn't something that's generally being approached. Meaning just one thing currently, I think: ChatGPT. But that's like just a tiny part of the AIs that are out there. Now, to break that down, there isn't one solution that fits all. It can't be. And it's just like every other industry in the world. We need to specialize, and AI is currently in this state. So this also means that we currently, at least in sales marketing, we talk about 4 to 5 different AIs for different use cases. So we have AI for text generation, we have AIs for image, for video, and for voice, and also for coding, of course. But that's more like a subset of text. And for every use case you're working with, you can choose different things. Now, everybody knows ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or whatever. But for image, for example, like there's DALL-E, that's also OpenAI, of course, it's MidJourney. There's like Runway, I think. But that's also video, which is also interesting. Now, then there's the voice part. You can use Deepgram, you can use ElevenLabs, and then there's video, and then again there's tools like Synthesia, like Runway, and many more. And then you also have these specialized models you can run locally. So one model is, for example, just good for coding, another one is just for text gen, another one is just good for writing stories. I don't know. There are so many tools out there, but by using these 4 sectors, 5 maybe, text, image, voice, and video, you're pretty much good to go. So you can map each AI you're going to use in your workflows accordingly. When you know which AI you want to use for your use case, then you can get started by automating certain workflows, automating processes or parts of processes, to maybe reduce time spent on crucial tasks, but that take forever but have like real high value in them. Now, again, just like about the AI sectors, text, voice, video, image, and code, you cannot start by automating entire processes. you can automate one task and then another and then another and then another, but not one workflow, one AI to automate, I don't know, 5 different tasks at once. That will not work. Just like you as a human being only can work on one task, maybe 2 if you're very, very good at it, but normally just one. And then the next, and then next one, then there's the solution or the result. But in order to automate workflows or use automations in general, you need to learn a couple of things to make life easier for you, essentially. The first thing is prompt engineering. This allows you to create highly specialized agents, highly specialized prompts that will generate the output you actually want and you can use in the next task, for example. You need a general understanding of the 4 sectors of AI, or 5. Voice, text, video, image, and code. Then you need to learn how to create structured outputs. So in the simplest terms, this would mean something like you have an agent or a prompt. This agent has this role. He will work on X task, and once he has worked on this task, he will provide an output in this and that way. Now, for automations and workflows like on N8N or Make, we need to structure these outputs in the JSON format. That's not too complicated, actually. You can look it up. It's pretty much just a simple line of codes that just provide the output in this way, so another tool can work with that in the subsequent step. The 4th part you should actually be learning is you need to understand how to make API calls, which means basically if you have tools running like Confluence, you have as your knowledge base, or Notion as your knowledge base, or even Airtable, then you leverage agents like hosted on OpenAI or on DeepSeek on the platform. You need to make sure that you can retrieve data, forward data, generate data, and provide the result you want. So basically this means you want to have the knowledge to integrate multiple tools with each other. And this isn't like magic science stuff or space stuff. I don't know. It's not very, very complicated, but you should be learning that as well. Talking about databases or tools like Notion, Airtable, Confluence, where you can store data in a certain way, you need to learn how these databases work, how you can retrieve the data from this database, update, let's say, one line within this database, or leverage that information that's stored there for future outputs or inputs. So after talking about what you need to learn, we should also be talking about that you need to understand that AI is not here to solve all of your problems. It can't, and it will not, at least not in the next years. It can help you, though, to get to your solution faster. But you need to work on the solution AI provided in order to make it like really, really good and usable. And then you also need to, like mentioned before, you need to get started with very, very small tasks, with one task, with small increments, in order to get started with automating one process. So this could mean, for example, for marketing, something very, very fundamental about writing articles or writing content, or at least drafting content. So it's not like you have an input, then you have an agent that helps you write an article, and then you have an output. It's more like you have a research agent. Then you create who does the research. Then you create an outline. Then you write a first draft. Then you write a final draft. Then you do SEO optimization. Then you have the final article. And then you publish it on the website. And then you leverage the information from the article to create LinkedIn, social media, whatever content. And for each of these steps, you could build, hypothetically, you could build an agent. So, as I mentioned, build the research agent. Then leverage the information from the research agent to create an outline. And then, let's say, build another agent that creates a draft. And then you're already pretty much faster than lots and lots of other competitors in your field who are working on similar stuff. Now, we always seem to hear also that AI is somehow replacing your jobs. No, it isn't. But it can, like I mentioned, it can automate and a certain recurring tasks, time-consuming tasks. But you can actually use AI for your advantage by complementing your skills. So let's say if you're good at writing content and you already know how to write great content, or how you know how to create crazy, stunning images, or recording very, very cool podcasts or videos or something like that, then leverage AI to your advantage, because you know how the process works, you know the tasks you need to do in order to get started, in order to get the output you want, and then you can just go from there. But maybe for a podcast, it reduces the time work on one episode from, let's say, 3 or 4 days down to 1. Maybe, I don't know. It depends. In this case, for example, I'm using AI to do some research, create an outline and some speaking points for my podcast, but I already have an idea in mind I want to talk about. So I'm just updating the information on the output AI created, and I'm pretty much good to go. Hypothetically, of course. It's always a bit more work than people tend to share on the internet. Now, the most important thing probably is, next to learning how AI works or how workflows work, is you need to understand how business processes work. And that's not just within your exact field or the job you're doing, but in general, because if we talk about marketing or sales, these processes are heavily connected. Our teams are essentially, and now lots of marketers probably will say, what the fuck's wrong with him? Sorry for the word. They're pretty much the same. One of the only differences is marketing goes to your target group in general on a broad way, and sales is just doing, well, one-to-one maybe, right? But we tend to communicate the same things, just on a smaller scale then. And these workflows or these processes in marketing and sales have the tendency to be connected, that marketing and sales can't survive without each other, basically, because we need the input from sales and sales needs the input from us. So we can leverage AI within our workflows to, let's say, nurture leads, to do lead scoring, to leverage it finding out the intention of our customers, of potential leads, what's currently going on in our field, and so on and so on. And by leveraging all these information, just by using AI to do certain things, we are so much faster than maybe like our competitor. Right, so this is about it. We're almost done now. The only thing left to say is start learning how AIs work, what you need to do in order to get started, and start building small, start automating one task, and then